Hello, my friends, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to be working with the Spellbinders March 2019 card kit, and the theme of this card kit was a little hard for me, so it took me a few days to get through these cards. But hopefully, if you're stuck like I was, this will maybe give you a few ideas on what to do with your kit. So here's just a quick peek at what's in it, because you've seen unboxings, you probably don't need to see another one. And I'm just going to jump in here with card number one. So for all of my cards, I used stitched rectangle dies to make my panels. You've seen them before, and I just continue to use the same ones throughout. And there is some mirrored cardstock that is kind of like a coppery rose color. And so I used a border punch, the scalloped edge on it, just to make just a little fun thing to put across the middle of my little page. And for the cactus, that is the dies that came in this month's kit, and I cut it out along with the flowers, just kind of made like a little grouping in the hopes that it would kind of look like it's supposed to, but I do not know cactus or succulents at all, so it's very possible that that is not at all what it is supposed to look like. But I think it looks pretty, so I'm okay with it. I'm going to go ahead and pop him up, and he's going to go right in the middle of that peachy colored paper. And then I got a couple of sentiments from the sentiment pack, and the darker one's really hard to read unless you kind of tilt the paper so that the light hits the embossed. It's kind of like a coppery embossed sentiments that are in the middle of those little sticker things. So you kind of have to tilt it to read it, so just be aware if you're going to use that as sentiments on your cards that you may not be able to see it all that well. Here I'm just showing you how I made the sparkly paper for some of when I cut out the Relax and Enjoy, it comes from there. Also my little butterflies and the hearts that I use. So throughout the 10 cards, I have little butterflies and hearts all over the place, and that's how I made them. I also did the same thing with some yellow washi tape that's sparkly, and also the lighter colored one that came, I think it was in the December kit that the browns came in it. I can't remember. Anyway, they came from the Spellbinders kits. So for card number two, I cut out the Relax and Enjoy from that same washi strip that I showed you. And now I'm just using some of the pattern paper from the paper pack. I'm going to just put a wood strip paper across a real pretty one with white hearts. And I'm going to attach it to my card base. And then I'm going to do a little grouping of the ephemera pieces. Also, that ephemera pack is huge, and there's so much left over after this 10 cards. But unfortunately, like I said, this really isn't my style, so I really don't imagine that I'll use it anymore. So I'm going to give it to my friend because she's doesn't get kits like this. She's thinking about it, but she hasn't quite figured out which ones she's going to do. So I'm probably going to give her all the rest of it and see what she can come up with. So maybe she can figure out some better cards than I did. So I'm just going to keep on putting together this little cluster of ephemera pieces. And in my mind, this is how I would love to relax and enjoy. The little sentiment off to the side says home sweet home, and then we have the relax and the joy up top. A newspaper, books, cup of coffee, and being at home is like my favorite thing. So to me, this just screams relax. So that's why I came up with this little grouping here. A lot of the ephemera pieces to me don't really go together very well. Like, I don't know what coffee and cactus and books, and I don't know. It was a very mixed mash of pieces, which made it difficult, but pretty actually kind of fun, because I had to really think outside of what I'm comfortable with in order to put these 10 cards together. So it was definitely worth going and just keeping on making cards every day until I got through all 10 of them. And that completes that card. I did add some little pearls as well from my stash. For card number 3, this one's kind of got like a little travel theme, and I'm again using the polka dot again. I think that's probably the first time I've used it in this video so far. So it's a polka dot embossing folder, and I'm just using a white card panel, and then I'm gonna put a piece of the pattern paper on top of the mirrored copper cardstock, and I'm just gonna put that right across the middle just to kind of break up all that white. I also popped it up on a piece of fun foam, and that pink and green ticket up there is a travel, it's like a train ticket. So this card, to me, that was like what kind of brought this card together, was looking at that train ticket. And so this is kind of like a travel card. And the sentiment, what should we do today? That one seemed like a pretty good sentiment to go with a little travel themed card. So that is one of the, I guess it would be like a Project Life card that came in this month's kit. There was a pack, I think, of 5 of them, and I used a couple of them. I'm just going to place that one down, and then I'm going to pop up my sentiment on some fun foam, and then just kind of group the pieces that I came up with that kind of looked travel-ish to me, which was a camera, and then that little notebook, which, you know, it could be a passport, it could be like a little travel journal, whatever you want it to be. It says sweet notes on the outside of it, so I guess it really can be whatever you want it to be. So I'm just going to glue down my little globe there. I think I pop up the camera. And at some point, I'm actually going to start using the foam that they send you in the kit. I always forget about it. I have like 5 of them sitting here. And so I am going to actually use up an entire one of those once I realize that it's sitting off to the side. If I don't put something right in front of me, sometimes I forget that it's there. Just going to put down the sentiment. And then it seemed a little bare to me, so I decided to add a couple more pieces to it just to kind of fill in where I thought it looked a little bare. So again, in the sticker, that little sticker pack, I pulled out some travel themed sentiments, and I backed them on the mirrored cardstock, and then I'm just going to place them around the card. I actually only used 2 of them. It started to get a little too busy, so I'm only going to attach those 2 that are on the globe. And they are both travel themed. I think one says journey and the other says say cheese, I believe. You'll see when you see the close-up, it can actually read the sentiments in the close-up. I'm going to add a little heart, cover up that spot where it looked like they were not close enough together, and that is going to do it for this card. Give you a close-up so you can actually read those. Barely read say cheese, but you can see it. For card number 4, there's a bunch of little houses that came. Like I said, this kit is all over the place. A bunch of little houses that came inside the ephemera pack. And then there's this piece of the pattern paper with windows all over it. And then I have the heart theme going. So I decided to make like a home, like this is our neighborhood kind of a thing. And, oops, I'm going to have to walk away from the computer for a second. So sorry, guys, but I got to turn something off. So I cut out a heart, and I used the polka dot embossing folder again. And that heart is actually from, I think it's the January card kit. I just thought it was super cute. And the cardstock that I used for that did not come in this month's kit. I felt like I needed a little bit of pink in this kit, and it didn't come with a pink piece of cardstock, so I just brought one in from my stash that looked like it matched pretty well. Now I'm just going to group the little houses together. I'm also going to use the sentiment home is wherever I'm with you, and that is from the stamp set that comes. I thought I was going to use that little guy, and I'd fussy cut it out, but I changed my mind. He's also a part of the stamp set. Now I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to put it, and I'm going to pop it up with some fun foam, place it off to the side. There it is. And I'm just kind of showing you that little grouping of hearts that I got off. I'm not sure where I got it. I believe it's a lawn fawn little heart one that I never took them apart. I left it together so that it would be easier to just run it through one time and not have to keep lining up every single little heart. But I ended up making a couple of sheets of what do you call it, with the washi tape, the sparkly washi tape, and I had a yellow sparkly washi tape, and then the two brown ones. There's a light brown and a dark brown, and those I think came from I want to say the December card kit. Not the yellow one, the two browns did. The yellow one I had in my stash. And so I just cut out a whole bunch of hearts to add to my cards for later on. And now we're on to the next card. Another sentiment from the stamp set. Let's stick together. So I grabbed a bunch of like the succulents and a cactus. I think that's what I'm assuming that's what those are called, succulents. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know my cactus at all, or any desert flowers for that matter. So I'm going to trim down the Let's Stick Together. I'm going to fishtail the end, put it on some black cardstock and fishtail black cardstock as well, just to kind of get it to pop up off the page. For the strip on the bottom, I just took some black cardstock, which was what came in the kit, and I put a piece of the pattern paper on top of that, and then use that at the bottom, and I just put that directly onto my card base instead of putting like a panel on top. I just went directly to the card base. I am terrible at this. I need to get some dies that fishtail because I'm terrible at it. Luckily, I don't make you sit through me trying to do the black piece that I mounted that on, because it was totally crooked and I had to keep doing it over and over again. But there it is. Now I'm just going to group up my greenery. This card, it turned out to be a little too green for me, so that's why I brought in that butterfly, just to kind of give it like a little bit of color off to the in that little mess of green. And see, I remembered. There's the stickers that they sent us. So I'm going to use up that entire pack before this card kit is over. I'm also, you can see I'm using the tape that they send us as well, because my ATG gun ran out of tape and I haven't had a chance. I've been working so much lately, I haven't had a chance to go and buy a refill pack for my ATG gun. I'm going to put 3 of these little guys on here. These came in the kit as well, and they match really well to that mirrored cardstock. That's going to complete this card. Now for card number 6, I decided to use the little sweater and the other sweet notes and flowers with the little Be Happy sentiment. And the paper has little purses all over it, so I thought, well, this all goes together pretty well. So I'm just going to kind of mess around until I can figure out how I want to put the pattern paper onto my card base. And again, I used my stitch rectangle dies to cut those out. I also used a scalloped circle die to cut out some of that rose colored paper and then trimmed it in half. And I'm going to just put that on there as well. And then just group my little sweater and my flower and my book onto my pattern paper. Super simple card. And that seemed to be my theme for this card kit, was to try to just do groupings as best I could with things that I thought went together, because like I said, this kit was kind of really all over the place, so it's kind of hard to figure out what to put with what, but it was fun. It was fun challenging myself to use stuff that I probably would have never thought to get on my own. So I used a couple of my pearls from my stash, and I'm gonna add a couple more sentiments from that sticker pack, and I backed them on that rose paper as well. So I think it's smile often, be happy, and then live, laugh, and love. And that will complete that card. For card number 7, this one was super simple card, but I think this one is definitely my favorite. At first, when I was putting it together, I thought, "Oh my gosh, that is so busy," but I'm just gonna go for it because I love that sentiment on the card. Absolutely love it. So I took that beautiful rose paper from the paper pack. I used the black polka dot embossing folder again on the black paper. That is another one of the ATC cards that comes in the kit, and I believe that that's the last one I used from this kit because it came with like 5 of them, but they're different on each side. So flip them over and figure out which side you want to use. But they were really nice. I like it, and I think this grouping together, although it's kind of busy, it having that little space in between, so the black polka dot in between the ATC card and then the white in the middle before you get to that sentiment really works. So, and now I'm just taking my flowers that I cut out of just extra paper, like little, little strips of paper that you have left over. So I took the flowers that came in the card kit, the dies, and I just cut out some of these flowers. I'm just going to group them here on the corner. Throw some greenery in there. Also I cut it out from the paper. That's why it's white on one side and then kind of green. And it has some of the gold in it, kind of throughout the greenery. And there it is. I think I'm going to add, some more of these guys in here. Just 3 set. I'm on a 3 kick. And they're so big. I didn't have really very many of the small ones left, so and I kind of stuck with these great big ones. So I'm kind of trying to stuff them underneath things. That's going to finish it off for those. And I was trying to see if I wanted to add the butterfly. I couldn't figure out where I wanted to put it, so enough is enough. Know when to say stop. And that completes that one. And like I said, that one's definitely my favorite. Card number 8. This is the fastest card. I love this paper. It's got that shiny gold coppery stuff through it. So I took another Relax and Enjoy. That I cut out one from the black and one from that peach color, and then just kind of offset them a little bit. Took the and piece of ephemera, put it right in the middle, and I glued down the Relax and Enjoy. This is like a super simple card. Just put a couple of those sparkly hearts on there, and that is it. See how fast that was? Done. You can tell, I think this is one of the days where I stopped because I'm like, okay, I'm running out of ideas here. So for card number 9, this is another one that I think came out really cool. I did something simple, straight onto the card base, so no panel. I just took the a piece of the wood, stripped it. This is some of the ephemera that came, and it kind of reminds me of washi tape, so I used it like washi tape. I just kind of attached it like I would have had it been on a roll, just to give it some color, a little bit of color off to the side. And trim those down. And then the Let Love Grow is going to go kind of popped up right in the middle. And there's, you see, there's the whole thing. Done. I'm going to pop that up in the middle. And I'm not going to push it down yet because I'm going to try to figure out where I'm going to kind of stuff all these other little succulent pieces around it. So I'm going to kind of stuff them behind, and not all of them go behind. I think the little cactus is going to get popped up in front of the Let Love Grow sign. That's that. Yep, I did do that. If I had the card sitting in front of me, I wouldn't be guessing right along with you as I'm doing this. 'Cause actually, I've already moved on to a whole nother um, 10 cards video. So I'm trying to remember what I did on this one. So it's kind of half popped up. And then I'm going to add the little butterfly. Again with the little sparklies. Can you tell my brain is completely drawing a blank on what those are called? Sequins. There. Oh my gosh. I do not know what's going on. My brain. Work too much. Card number 10. We're finally to the end, guys. So to use this little striped piece of paper, use the stitch rectangle die. I'm going to place that down on my card base. And then I was just kind of using up some of the strips that I had left over from some of the other pieces that I already used. So I'm going to use this one here. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do before I started putting this card together, and then I messed it up like 3 times. So you'll see me put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. That was always in my head, was always supposed to be in front of the black cardstock, not behind it. So I was like, should I just, nope, I'm doing it. I'm taking it off, and I'm going to put the cards, this card is going to go together the way I had it in my brain, even though I already messed it up. And you'll see I'll mess it up again. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get it on there and be in the middle now that I've already trimmed my paper. So now the hello was already supposed to be also grouped behind that one. So now I've got to pull it up again and get that one underneath there. And that's another piece of the ephemera. I had already kind of grouped this card out before I started putting it together, so I knew which pieces I was going to do where. And then as soon as I moved all the stuff apart, I forgot where it was all going. So that's why we're doing it like this. Now I'm going to do my little grouping. So I had another newspaper. Nice thing about these kits from Spellbinders is they send you 2 of everything in the ephemera. So, which is good for me, because a lot of the ephemera pieces I really had no idea what to do with them. So I didn't use them. I doubled up on the ones that I did like. And I love coffee, and I love all the little coffee themed stuff. So figured for my last card, that's what we were going to do. Another coffee card. So I popped that one up with some foam tape. Do CPR on it. I thought about putting foam behind that, and then I realized this is going to be way too hard. So I'm just going to glue it directly down to the card base. And then instead of that said, what should we do today? I used the today from the ephemera piece and just trimmed off the little today off of the sentiment. And since the coffee cup's already popped up, I only had to pop up a little piece of it, and then I just glued the rest of it down flat to the card base. I think I'm going to add a couple little, because they were sitting there and I really wanted to use them. I think I used just 1, maybe 2 of the little butterflies, little sparkly butterflies. Yep, I'm going to use the second one. Anyway, so this is the end of the 10 cards. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully this next 10 cards will be a little better for you. Sorry that this one was kind of scattered, and just like I said, not my style, but still went through it. Thank you so much for coming here, and I will see you again very, very soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.